Hey fans, it's Emma. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing an iMovie quiz. So I know how much your fans love my iMovies. In fact, one of them has just had over 1,000 views over the past few months, coming up on a year. So I'm going to be spilling some facts about how they came to life. Chloe's going to be asking questions, and so I give my little mixed quiz, I'll be writing them down on the board. But before we get into it, the winner of Titans vs. Rebels Survivor has just been revealed this week. As much as I want to say who it is, I do not want to spoil because it'll give so much away. So if you haven't watched the season finale, then go watch it afterwards. It's really good. Okay, here we go.
Alright. What was the first iMovie you ever released?
I don't need a board for this. So this actually takes place in April 2022. Before I went public, I had private videos. So I made my first iMovie in April 2022, which is kind of emotional. I did it about JoJo Siwa, who was really young when she first was discovered by Abby Lee Miller in Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition, and her elimination was really upsetting. So I decided to see if cast members from season 1 and 2 reacted to that in a really emotional way, and it had so many views.
Okay. What was the last iMovie you ever released?
This one's a public one. You know how I was telling you about Haley LeBlanc a few years ago, who and her sister? Her character Harmony from Chicken Girls, which has had 11 seasons. I did my last video, iMovie video, was about her in January, and there's 4 more coming this year, so stay tuned for that. I usually ask questions in my iMovies, like what if someone came back, or what if 2 people got back together, and people would just watch it non-stop. So my last one was about Harmony, and what if she came back.
Okay. Name 3 Tate McRae songs that have played in your iMovies.
Well, as your fans know, Tate McRae made it to the top of my Spotify Wrapped list, and she's actually done it twice. The first time, I didn't even know Spotify Wrapped stuff even exists. So, yeah, it happened in 2022, and it happened again this year because I am so obsessed with her. Anyway, back to it. Gosh, there's a lot of them that I put into iMovies. I put All My Friends Are Fake, about a broken friendship that I released an iMovie about in 2022 when I first went public. It's one of my oldest videos. I also released an iMovie that has the song Slower in it, which is one of my favorite Tate McRae songs. Also, one of the last ones I had with the Tate McRae song is We're Not Alike, which was produced about a protagonist from one of my favorite shows, Cruel Summer. And that's it. But there have been way more than just 3 songs by her that I've put into iMovies, trust me.
Okay. Rank all your Justice iMovies from best to worst.
You forgot the hashtag justice ones.
Yeah, the hashtag Justice iMovies from best to worst.
I can only base it on which one has the most views right now. And this is gonna sound so basic, but my Justice for Langston one is definitely the most viewed one, because, well, it's actually one of my favorite iMovies I've ever done. The second one, second is my second Justice iMovie I did, which was in December 2022. It was the day before New Year's Eve, and I released the hashtag Justice for Julian the Phantoms video that people seemed to like. And my third one was in April, after we just came. It was actually the day after we just came back from Kyabram last year. So I released the hashtag Justice for Warner vs. Lying iMovie, and right now it's on 43 views. Come on, and fans, put some more views in there. And my last one is the hashtag Justice for Cruel Summer one, which I released 2 months ago. It was a few days before we went to Coolangatta, Queensland.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, I don't think that it's the worst one, but right now it doesn't really have, like, as much views, I don't think. But I promise you, when we stop filming, I'll look at the views.
Okay. What is your favorite One of Us is Lying iMovie you've ever done?
You know how you know when I was showing you the opening of the One of Us is Lying series, and I told you about when Addie's secret was cheating on Jake? I did an iMovie about that, and it actually turns out that Jake was cheating on Addie with this girl named Giselle who starred in season 2. And I produced an iMovie about that in March last year. Because I thought about it, and one of the things I've been dying to say in my non-iMovie videos is what I put in the last thing that my iMovie pictures said, which was for Addie to get over Jake when she still could and start fresh with someone else, which she obviously could. Too bad we won't know who it was because the show's been cancelled for 2 years, which is so frustrating.
Okay. What is your favorite iMovie you released in the July holidays?
Ooh. Gosh, there's a lot of them. Releasing so many iMovies in a holiday is one of my favorite things about being a YouTuber. I have this one where I was talking about a friendship that ended due to assault, and I put Olivia Rodrigo's song Traitor in it because it was so suitable, and it's actually one of my favorite iMovies I've ever done. I also did 2 One of Us is Lying iMovies, like what would happen, like the show's actually based on like a story in a book, and there were like 2 more after the original, and I put the second one thinking, what if it would be like a spin-off. Most shows get spin-offs, like Pretty Little Lies, which is one of my favorite shows. So yeah, I did that, and I also wondered if there was going to be like a One of Us is Lying reboot, which is another one of my favorites. I put Jenna Ortega, Lizzie Green in there. Who else did I put in that cast? I'm gonna try and remember after the video. Yeah, those are some of my favorites, but there's I have a whole list of them, but I'm not gonna say them now because it'll spoil.
Okay. What is your favorite iMovie you released in the September holidays?
This one probably has the most views out of all the which was supposed to be 9, but it was actually 7. I think my favorite one out of all of them was probably the one about Rochelle and Ozzy from the next step, because I know how much the fans were dying to see them get together, and the thought of that actually happening is what made me started shipping them in the first place. So I decided to do an iMovie about them to kind of excite fans a little bit, make them happy, give them an iMovie they might have wanted to see for quite a while. So yeah.
What is the most famous iMovie you've ever released?
Oh, come on. I can answer this. The night we came back from Kyabram, I knew I had a lot of time to make a very quick iMovie. Well, it wasn't that quick. It went on for 11 minutes. I did an iMovie about The Next Step Season 9, which is coming out this year, I think. They've already released the trailer. So yeah, I kind of put some of the original Next Step events that left in Season 8 last season. What am I going to do? So yeah, I just kind of showed my excitement so many times, and the minute I woke up the next day, I realized that it had 81 or 88 views, and then straight away it went to 1,000, and now it's over 1,000.
Okay. What is the most underrated iMovie you've ever released?
That's a hard one, actually. I know when I released last year, I think this is one of my most underrated. I did an iMovie about what would happen if there would be a Frozen remake. It was the day after Chloe and I had just finished the Frozen Junior musical last year. Yeah, I think right now it's on like 19 views. I don't really know. But there have been a lot of underrated iMovies.
Okay. How much are your surprise iMovie coming out in the September holidays that you've recently announced are you actually excited for when it comes out?
Let me tell you about that iMovie. It's about one of my favorite ships from a show that you probably don't know. And well, it went on for like 9 years. It just finished last year, and I was rewatching it so many times, like scenes from my favorite ship that's from this show. I will not say what it is because it will give so much away. This is hard. And I'm just really excited to share it with your fans when it comes out in September. It'll actually be the last iMovie that's going to be released in the September holidays. And I'm super excited to release it, but I really can't say anything else about it because it'll give so much away.
Okay, so bonus question. Rank your most famous iMovies from best to worst.
Well, I think, and I say this because, well, I'm really proud of my Justice for Links in iMovie, and like I said before, they're one of my favorites, but I don't know if they're the most famous because right now it's on 73 views. But I know that the Next Step Season 9 iMovie is obviously number one. I mean, that's for sure. I released an iMovie in March last year about the Descendant and Rise of Rey movie that's coming out this June or July. So that's second. I did an iMovie about Nini and Ricky from High School Musical, the series, that had its last season last year. I think that's third, and I think the fourth most famous one is the one about Summer that I released in the July holidays from The Next Step. And I know how much fans loved Summer because of how kind and caring she is. Oh, and I also remember she was in that scene with Noah and Henry when Noah was like, "Oh, I didn't realize there was a smooching section in my choreo." And I think that's pretty much it. So that's it for today's video. Which question do you think surprised you the most? And which iMovie is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you fans soon.